Our talk title today is In Living Color. In Living Color. Many of you might remember there was a TV series I heard in the 1990s here in the US by that title. And it offered a vibrant commentary on American pop culture at the time. And I took this opportunity to share my most colorful self. Those of you who read the newsletter, you knew I was showing up in my most colorful self today. Here we are. And I really appreciate so many of you showing up so colorfully as well. And so I have been so inspired, and I have declared this month to be Free to Be Me month. Free to be me, yes. And that is, yes, and it is the invitation for all of us to declare, maybe you want to do a day or a week or a whole month, where the focus is really to not curate who we are, depending on where we are, but rather just show up with our wholehearted, beautiful, colorful self. And so that is what the talk is all about today. And I want to start with a question. Every Sunday you hear, when you're here, for those of you who are here for the first time, you heard it only once. But everybody else, you heard it multiple times, right? Every Sunday we say, New Vision Center is a radically inclusive community. And here's my question to all of us here in the sanctuary online. Who makes it radically inclusive? Put your hand on your heart and say, I do. I do, right? That is what it takes. Yes, we have some things in place. We have guiding statements that help us as we create programming and as we respond to people to do that from an open and accepting and welcoming place. And at the end of the day, it takes each and every one of us, how we meet each other. And I don't know about you, but I am not 100% all the time accepting and open of everything that comes to me. I'm not. There are moments where I have opinions, where I have preferences that are not mirrored back to me in that now moment. Maybe it's just me. But think back to this week. Has there been a moment in your life experience where perhaps you weren't 100% open, radically inclusive? No show of hands. Don't even go there. I believe what's important about this is to remind us that true inclusivity starts with the self. So my follow-up question is, has there been a moment this last week where you did not accept your whole self wholeheartedly? This teaching, one of the things that this teaching does and that we are doing here with our programming is to help us get in touch and get intimately familiar with our true self, with a self that does not have any masks, that feels so confident and assured and trusts, that is able to let the world see it. That is really the work we do here. Reminds me of this Zen story where the student comes to the master and says, "Master, how do I discover my true self?" And the master says, come with me. And they walked properly to a frog pond. Is that what you called it, David? So they walked to a pond that was absolutely still. And the master said, look in. And the student looks in and it sees the perfect reflection of himself. And he says, I see it. I can see me. And then the master took a little pebble and threw it in the water. And the student said, oh, it is absolutely distorted now. And the master said, that, my dear, is what the world does. The world throws pebbles, and it is up to us to cultivate the depth, the stillness below the surface so that we can see and be our true self. Love that story, because that is truly what we aim to do, to widen our heart, to open us, to create such a large container that there is space for everybody in it. That is what we do. Carl Jung says it beautifully. He says, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Now that, my beloveds, is my youngest granddaughter, who dresses herself, thank you very much. But when I saw this picture of her from a couple of weeks ago, I was like, we all knew this, right? There was a time in each of our lives where we knew without a question who we were, our true self. And we were able to let the world see it. That's what she does. She's not asking, does this pattern fit with this pattern? Is this dress a little short for being up here? Should I have not worn this? None of that. She's just who she is. Part of what I want to invite us in this month of June is find a little one. Find a little one, a niece, a neighbor's kid. I got a bunch of grandkids if you want to borrow them for a moment. You know, find a little one, because when we are in the presence of the kids who haven't quite been cultivated into proper attire yet, or proper behavior yet, we connect with that place within ourselves that is wild and free. Will you do that? Will you find a kiddo? Great. Living authentically, that is what we're talking about. Because the sacred act of inclusion calls us forth to accept and be with everything that is within us. The shiny parts and the not so shiny parts. The willingness to love ourselves so unconditionally that we can bring those parts that we like to not have you see out into the open. Because then when we live our place from that authentic self, whatever comes back to us, we can really receive. Have you ever noticed that when we are busy putting on a mask and then we get a compliment and somebody compliments on something well done, we are like, that was nothing. Oh, no. What happens there is deep on the inside, we know that it wasn't our authentic self that showed up. Because this is not something to be discussed on the outside. It is the feeling on the inside. We all know it when we are our authentic self. Yes? We all had moments where we know exactly, this is who I am. And it doesn't matter if you like it or not, if you have an opinion about it or not. This is who I am. Well, this month of June, we are going to invite all of us to live from that place. So get ready. Get ready to perhaps be a little irritated by some things. Get ready for something to show up where you're like, oh, I don't like that. And ask yourself, how would it look if I open my heart so much and come from that wholehearted place that I can allow somebody to do what they would like to do? I thought about this. On Wednesday night, we had our one table where we gather in a potluck and talk about different faith traditions. And the idea of being so deeply satisfied by my own faith tradition, by embodying the science of mind, that whoever has a different faith tradition and wants to practice it in their way, I can celebrate. Do you get the difference? I can watch something different taking place and I don't have to have an opinion about it because it's not mine to have opinion about. It is simply mine to recognize, oh, that is their way to the divine. That is their way to feeling connected. And how can we bring that into every aspect of our life? Perhaps a situation at work or a family member. Or the way somebody does something. Can we look at all of that as the world just throwing pebbles into the pond and let it just ripple out? Has nothing to do with me. Dr. Ernest Holmes, the founder of the Science of Mind, says it this way: life is not static. It is forever dynamic, forever creating, not something done and finished, but something alive, awake, and aware. There's something within you that sings the song of eternity. Listen to it. He said, listen to it. I would like to go a step further. I really want to invite us to sing it. Listen to the notes, but then be willing to sing it out loud. So what if I can't carry a tune in a bucket? Who cares, right? I still have this urge to sing what is within me because I believe without a shadow of a doubt that within each and every one of us and within me is a song that is uniquely mine and that is uniquely yours. Sing it. Find a way to express it. This call to authentic living needs to be cultivated every day. Every day, we have to set time aside to listen to the song, to the voice within, to the place of the Most High. Find your individual spiritual practice, whatever that is for you, creating beauty, painting, dancing, meditating, looking at a candle, walking in nature. Do something every day. For some of us, affirmations really work. And so I would love for us to go ahead and say this affirmation together, because it speaks to accepting not only all of us, all of our parts, but also opening our hearts even more to accept those who show up differently than we are. Let's say together, I fully embrace the spectrum of my human experience. Again, I fully embrace the spectrum of my human experience. And so that we may be able, instead of reacting to something that doesn't look like the way we would like it to, on the news, at work, in community, in spiritual community, wherever we encounter those pebbles being thrown in and those ripples that get us so wild up, perhaps we can say to ourselves, I am going to just fully embrace this human experience. Do you feel the difference? And yes, absolutely, it takes tools. It takes the benefit of seeing the full picture, like we saw in the skit earlier, right? Take a look at the myriad of offerings here. Find a class, find a gathering, come to the Wednesday night services, sign up for service. I want to say, do something. And I mean it really from the bottom of my heart, because I want all of us to have the experience, to have a month where we are free to be me. Thank you. Thank you. Let's take a moment and anchor all of this in prayer. I invite the practitioners here in the sanctuary and online, our practitioner candidates. If it feels comfortable, I ask you to stand as we proclaim the truth together. As I speak a spiritual mind treatment, our form of affirmative prayer. And so we just take a moment and become aware that there's only one. There's one power, one presence, one all-inclusive vibration. We call it by so many names: God, Spirit, Source. Infinite possibilities. The unformed substance of the divine. That which has yet to be made and brought into manifestation. And as I recognize that God is truly everywhere, I know that it is within me, that vibration of goodness, of harmony, of love, of peace, of joy, of abundance is present in me. It is present in me as it is present everywhere, for there is no place where God is not. And so it is from this place that I speak my word. I declare the brilliant unfolding of all prayer requests. For I recognize that speaking a prayer is already the manifestation within itself. For it clarifies that we are all one. And there's one power, one presence, and that we have access to use this power, and this power has access to use us. And so I say yes. I simply say yes. Yes to possibilities, yes to inspiration, yes to support, yes to love. And it is with such a grateful heart that I release this word into universal law, that I know it is already done as it has been spoken. Thank you, life. So it is.